Hi guys, in this video we're going to be making a Christmas angel that's a cake. Okay, so let's begin. This time I'm using a sponge cake and it's a little doll cake tin that I'm using. I'll put links in the description box below the video for this. And I've also just got an extra little piece of cake on the bottom that's the same size as the base of my kind of cake tin, just to make it a bit taller. And I'm just going to layer this up with some buttercream between each layer of my cake. And it's going to be a little angel, a little Christmas angel, this one. It's fairly simple looking, we're not going for anything too complicated. So once you've put all your layers together and buttercream between, we're going to cover the whole thing in some ganache. I'm using a white chocolate ganache here. You can use buttercream if you prefer, but this just gives me a firmer base coat. Once you've gone over it once with a thin layer, you can go over again with a second layer. So you're just going to scrape the edge with a flexible smoother. So that's going to help us get our ganache rounded so it fits nicely with sort of the dome shape that we've got here, or the skirt shape. So once you're happy it's smooth enough, just stick it in the fridge for 10 minutes to firm up. While that's firming up, we're going to roll out some white fondant, and I'm just going to roll it large enough that I know I can put it right over the cake. I'm guessing a bit for the size here. So I've got my cake out the fridge, and let's pop this fondant on here. So fondant or sugar paste, it is the same thing. So I think in America it's known as fondant. In the UK it's actually sugar paste, but I'm so used to calling it fondant now. So we're just pushing pleats in. Now I was going to trim it and have it a really tight fitting sort of dress, but actually I think I like it how it's kind of falling with the pleats in anyway. So just going over those pleats to put them exactly where I want them, like so. So we're just going to make a quick body. I'm just going to use some modelling paste for the body so it's nice and firm. And I'm also going to use some modelling paste for my neck. So we're going to keep these fairly simple shapes and we're going to place them on top of the cake. And I'm going to push a hollow dowel or a straw down through the middle, and it's going to go right down to the bottom of my cake. So it's slightly shorter than the body, but that's fine. So what I'm going to do now is push a wooden kebab skewer down into that straw, and then we're just going to push a bit more modelling paste down the hole so it doesn't wiggle about too much. We're going to do with some hands. So the modelling paste I'm using here is pre-coloured, and it's like a pale flesh colour, this one. And I put links in the description box to everything that I've used. So we're rolling kind of some ovals and we're flattening them. And these are going to be the hands. And we're going to put them together in this position. So it's very basic. I'm going to stick these onto the front of her body, about her chest area first, like so. Then we're going to do the arms. So sort of fairly triangular in shape, but like a long thin triangle. I'm stretching them out a little bit. And then we're going to bend them. So the thick bit is like the sleeve that's going to go up to those hands that we've just put on. And then the smaller bit is going to push up to the shoulders. Looks a bit messy at the top of that neck at the moment, but we'll sort that out when the head goes on. So my arms are just going to sit like that. Now my head is quite big, so I am going to use a polystyrene ball in the middle so that the weight of the head doesn't sink down into the cake. So I'm just using my modelling paste again, so it's the pale skin tone one that we're using. I've rolled it out a little bit, but not too thin, and we're just going to cover the front half, so about half of the polystyrene ball wants to kind of disappear into it. It's getting a bit sticky, just a little bit of corn flour on there. We're going to smooth off the surface for the face. So we don't want anyone to eat this bit because it does have a polystyrene ball in the middle. I'm going to push some slight eye indentations in, just slightly below halfway down. Just light, they don't want to be very, very deep, otherwise she's going to look a bit angry. A small little oval for the nose. Just going to put it near the bottom of where my fingerprints were. So for the eyes, we're going to do closed eyes, and I've got some black modelling paste. We're just going to roll 2 small pieces, nice and thin, with a point on either end. And we're going to stick them into this sort of eye area that we've indented with our thumb. And then we're just going to draw in a mouth with the Dresden tool, just pressing in slightly deeper at either side. Let's give her some pink blusher on her cheeks, a little bit on her nose, maybe even a tiny bit on the forehead. So when I say pink blusher, it's not blusher, it is edible food dust that we're putting on here. Although we're not going to eat the head anyway, remember, because we've got a polystyrene ball in there. And then we're going to use some brown. Now you can use fondant or modelling paste for the hair, it really is up to you. Or you can even mix the two together. So I've got some brown. So I'm pushing the brown around the head. I'm going to leave her with like a little bobbed hairdo, so I'm not going to push it tight around the bottom, but on the top where it kind of meets, we'll cut all the extra off. Just press it down a little bit with our fingers. And I don't mind if there's a bit of a line, because this could be like her hairline or her parting, so we can kind of go over any untidy bits with the Dresden tool, putting in some hairlines there. Okay, so she's got a bit of a big forehead at the moment, we can sort that out. Stick her some eyebrows on first. So we're going to use the leftover brown from the hair, and we're going to roll like some tiny little miniature carrot shapes. We're sticking them on with the fat bit in the middle and the pointy bit towards the outside edge. I've taken the wooden skewer out of the body that we put in there earlier, and we're pressing it into the head. And then we've got a big teardrop that's going to come from the hairline down across the face. And then let's put a couple of ears on. Just 2 balls, just down by a sort of eye level or bottom of the eye level. And we're just going to press into the middle of them to sort of give them a bit more of a cupped look. I'm going to move that hair over just a tiny bit. I think I'd like it to have a off-center part in rather than central. So this side, the teardrop needs to be bigger, and we've kind of flattened it down a little bit as well. Again, let's put some more hairlines into there. Just using my Dresden tool for that. And then she just wants some yellow for a halo. So for a halo, I've got some yellow modelling paste. Now I am using modelling paste here, not fondant, because I want it to be quite firm. And I'm rolling it into a long snake shape. And I'm just going to use a round cutter to create the halo shape. So I'll wrap it around there, overlap it and cut it. So I'm going to push that wooden skewer back in the hole that it was in earlier. And then we'll just add that little yellow halo to the top of her head. Now, if it doesn't stick, you can add a little bit of water for glue to attach it all together. Mine seems to be stuck enough. Then we're just going to make her some wings. So I've got some edible paper. And what I'm going to do is draw out a wing shape. So I've got an edible pen that I'm using. I'm going to fold it in half so that I can sort of trace one half onto the other. And I know that it's the same both sides then. And then we're going to cut out around the edge. Now, you don't have to use a black pen. So I've used a black edible pen. I'm going to just put some little edging of a blue on there so it's not just black and white. I think I'll just keep it like that. I don't want to do too much to it. So I'm going to put some piping gel in the middle of the wings. Now mine are starting to snap a bit in the middle, but it's okay. I'll just make sure they're pressed together nicely at the back. And we're just going to press them firmly onto her back like that. So there she is, all finished. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out my other Christmas videos over on my channel. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and leave me a comment below. You can see more of my tutorials by clicking on the images on screen now. If you haven't already, make sure you click the subscribe button to stay up to date with my future tutorials. There are also links in the description box below where you can find me on Facebook, Instagram and more.